Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kelly. I am a health coach and a juice therapist. So I wanted to do this channel, as I talked about in the intro, so that I could help people learn how to cook healthy on a budget and make it as easy as possible, as budget friendly as possible. And because I know the struggles, I understand the struggles. I know what it's like to live on a budget. I know what it's like to not know what to do, what's going on. So my first video, I wanted to show you some cool things, or what your basic tools are going to be to have a good kitchen. I promise you, they are easy, they are inexpensive, but they are necessary. And it will make your life so much easier. And it is not fancy gadgets. Because trust me, I've bought in the fancy gadgets and they just sit in my drawer because I have to wash them and I don't like washing them. So, and they're not necessary. You really don't need them. So I'm going to show you that. But first I'm going to show you my kitchen, and I'm showing you my kitchen so that I can show you that no matter how big or small your kitchen is, you can do this. I live in a travel trailer. It's very tiny. I decided to do that to see if I could live tiny. And this was my first step, was the travel trailer. Now I know I can live tiny, so I'm working on trying to get a tiny house, which will be a little bit bigger than what I'm in right now. But in the meantime, I'm making it work and saving that money and trying to get to that point. So I will pause this and get you guys seeing the tiny kitchen. Okay, so here's my kitchen. It's going to be a very short tour because it's really tiny. This is literally it. This is my kitchen. This is, yeah, I have a sink and I have a stove. I don't use the stove very much because it heats the house up. So I have a little electric countertop two burner thing that I use. And then I use my Ninja Foodi, and I'll show you that in a minute. But I don't use the oven because it heats up this trailer so quickly. Even if I have AC going, it still gets really hot in here, and I don't need anything heating this thing up anymore because I live in a tin can. So anyway, this is my kitchen. I'll walk over here, take the 3 steps over here. This used to be a closet, and now I have turned it into a pantry. I can show you that real quick. That's my pantry. This over here used to be bunk beds. I ripped it out because I needed storage for all my stuff. So there's where all my pots and pans live. I do grow microgreens. I haven't done it in a couple months because it's been too hot. So that's why you see the weird grow light on the top there and the empty pots and the empty shelves. But that's what I use there. And then I have over here is where my blender and my Ninja Foodi live, and then all my mason jars. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them. That's where my mason jars live. So let's start with that. Actually, these are the first tools that I'm going to show you, is a blender. Blender is very important because you use it for sauces and condiments and anything like that. Also smoothies. I use it every morning for a smoothie. My Ninja Foodi, I use that for everything. I use it for a lot. It's the cool thing is that it's an air fryer, it's a slow cooker, it's a pressure cooker, it's a roaster. I can use it for pretty much anything. And so when I'm making stuff that needs to go in the oven, I just make it in a small version and use it in that, so I don't have to worry about it. I highly suggest getting especially a blender. You don't necessarily need the air fryer because you can do things in the oven, but I don't use the oven, so that's why I have that. Mason jars. I have every size of mason jar. I have a lot of them. I use those mason jars for everything. Excuse me. I have all kinds of food that I store in there. I even have food in storage unit, like your supply stuff in storage, so that I'm ready to go. So, all right. My juicer lives on the counter. It is the center of my kitchen. We will talk about that at another time. I will show you all about juicing and why it's so good for you, why it's so important, and what it does for your body and everything. And the juicer lives on the counter, and it is the star of my kitchen because that way I know I need to juice. It's a reminder to me to juice, and I don't get lazy, because if I have to keep pulling it out and putting it back in and whatever, it's not going to happen. It's just going to stay where it belongs. So this is where it lives, and I'll be right back to show you some other necessary tools that you're going to need to make your life easy in the kitchen. Okay, y'all, I hope that this angle is not weird. I'm not very good at this tech thing yet. I'm learning. I'm working on it. But I hope that you can see what's happening and that it's not a weird angle for you. Okay, so the very first thing I'm going to suggest that's very important is a solid, sturdy wooden cutting board. The reason I say wooden is because when you cut on a cutting board, little pieces of the cutting board will come off and get into your food. They're microscopic, they're tiny, you're not even going to notice them when you're eating. But if you're cutting on a plastic one, that means you're putting plastic in your body. And your body cannot absorb plastic. And it will do some pretty hefty damage to your body. So I suggest a wooden cutting board because wood is all natural. It's a natural product, and it's your body will absorb it or get rid of it. It doesn't stay in your body. So wood is definitely important. The next thing I'm going to suggest is one good knife. You don't need a whole set of knives. You can do everything with one good knife. It's nice to have a whole set of knives, yes. But honestly, I have other knives that I bought, but I end up using them for the retreats that I do. I don't use them in my own kitchen. This is the knife that I use for literally everything. Sorry guys, I have allergies really bad today. I make sure that it stays sharp, and I use it to cut vegetables. I use it to cut literally anything that needs to be cut in the kitchen. Aside from your measuring cups and measuring spoons, you're also going to need a really good mixing bowl. I suggest glass just because it's better for you, but you know, whatever you got. I'm not going to say, you know, go out and buy a brand new glass bowl just because. But if you ever get the chance to use a glass bowl, then definitely do that. A really good glass mixing bowl will make your life a lot easier. Just one, you don't need a lot. Just one is fine. Another nice to have, but not necessary to have, you don't have to have it, and that is a spiralizer. I use this to make zucchini noodles. I like to use this because it'll take the seeds out of the middle of the zucchini as you're going. So you can see down in there. So the zucchini will spiralize. It will spiralize the zucchini on the outside, the good part, and then the seeds will come out the center. So that's how that works. But it is absolutely not necessary to have this to make zucchini noodles. You can use a cheese grater. You just run your zucchini down the long way, and you'll get those same zucchini noodles. The seeds, when you get to the seed part, just turn the zucchini and turn it around and go the other direction. So literally all you have to do. And the last thing, well, actually, another thing that I like to show you is, this is a nice to have but not necessary to have. And this is what is used in canning. I've done a lot of canning in my lifetime. Ever since I was a little girl, I helped my mom and my grandma can, and my stepmom too. This is a canning funnel. So it makes it easy to pour hot things or whatever into jars. Well, because I use mason jars a lot as storage, I use this. So like I'll make a big batch of salsa and I'll use this to pour this in the jar. It makes it so much easier. For my utensils, my cooking utensils, I use wood most of the time. And the last thing I wanted to show you that's a really good tool is a really good pan. This is ceramic coated. So ceramic is glass, which means that it won't leach any kind of chemicals or anything into your food. but it also makes it easy cleanup. And I have a whole set of these, but this is the pan that I use the most. It is a large frying pan. I use this for everything. I have the whole set. I have the 2 little saucepans, I have 2 small frying pans, I have the big Dutch oven, I have the whole set. And this is the pan that I use the most. So I use it for everything. So if you're gonna buy a pan, I highly recommend getting ceramic coated, because that way it doesn't stick, your food won't stick, but it also won't leach any chemicals into your food. The last thing I wanted to show you is these jars. I buy in bulk, that way I don't have to go to the store all the time to buy the things that I need. So I bought these jars at Hobby Lobby over a couple months, I think. You know, every time they have them 50% off, I'd go buy 1 or 2 jars. And I have a lot of them. I have some in my pantry. I also have food storage above my couch, so I have some up there. I have a lot of them, and I use them so that I don't have to keep buying stuff. Costco is my friend, and we'll do a shopping trip later so I could show you the things that you can buy at Costco that are really good for you. In fact, I'm supposed to be shopping with a client soon, so hopefully I can film that shopping trip and you can see how much stuff Costco has that's really good for that. They've really stepped up their health game. I'm really impressed with them. So those are the things that I use in the kitchen, and those are really all you need. You do not need a lot of stuff. Those are good basics to have. I'm not telling you to go out and buy a juicer right now. I'm not telling you to go buy anything, but just find what you have in your kitchen, and if you can add every once in a while a couple little things, but just I highly recommend a wooden cutting board and a sharp knife to be your first tools that you buy if you have to buy new tools. Thanks again for stopping by. I'm really happy that you're here. Please subscribe, like, comment, share, do all the things. Turn on the notification bell so that you're getting notifications when I post a new video. I really appreciate you coming here. I really want to help people learn how to be healthy, and remember that health is not an end game. It is a journey, and it is a journey that you're going to be taking your whole life, because at times you're going to be good at things like eating, healthy eating and exercising, but you're going to be struggling in other areas like relationships or work or, you know, hobbies or whatever, finances. So you're never going to have all your ducks in a row. There's always going to be something that needs to be worked on, and something, and that something will change. So I am still on a health journey. I will always be on a health journey, and I struggle. I have struggles, and I'm hoping that this channel will not only help you, but it will help me as well. And by you subscribing and watching and sharing, it will help a lot of other people too, because times are tough right now. And what better way to have a health coach and not have to pay for it, because it's free for you. And if you subscribe, then you help me. So I love you guys. I'm really happy to be here. I'm really happy you're joining me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.